काव्यमाला चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और ऐसे और शैक्षणिक वीडियो देखें।
Hello, everyone, and welcome. If you're a first-year English literature student, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into your study of poetry syllabus. We're going to break everything down unit by unit so you can walk into your first class feeling confident and ready to go. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the course basics, then we'll explore the foundational concepts and the great ages of poetry. After that, we'll cover how you'll be assessed, take a look at some key learning resources, and wrap up by exploring the exciting career pathways this study opens up for you. All right, let's kick things off. Before we jump into the poems and the poets themselves, it's always a good idea to get the big picture, to understand the basic structure of this course. As you can see, this paper, Study of Poetry, is a major course for first-year students in the 2025-26 session. And take note of the total marks. It's a full 100. That tells you right away that this is a core component of your degree, so it's one you'll want to focus on. Now, let's get into the really good stuff, the heart of the syllabus. The first 2 units are all about building your foundation. You'll learn the essential tools for analyzing poetry and explore the classical traditions that have shaped literature for centuries. Think of Unit 1 as your poetry toolkit. It's designed to give you the essential vocabulary you'll need. By the end of this unit, you'll know how to discuss poetry intelligently, drawing on concepts from both the rich Indian aesthetic traditions and classic Western literary forms. So first, you'll dive into Indian poetics, exploring rasa, which is like the unique emotional flavor of a poem, and alankara, the beautiful figures of speech that act as its ornaments. Then, we'll shift to Western forms, where you'll learn to identify and analyze everything from the tightly structured 14-line sonnet to the grand, sweeping story of an epic. In Unit 2, we move from theory to practice. You'll get to apply everything you've just learned by engaging directly with some of the most profound and ancient texts from the Indian subcontinent. It's time to put those new tools to work. And this is a really deep dive into the foundational texts of Indian thought. You'll be analyzing selected hymns from the Rig Veda, some of the oldest sacred texts in the world. Then, you'll explore Chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, focusing on the powerful philosophy of Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action, using Dr. S. Radhakrishnan's amazing translation. Okay, with our classical foundation firmly in place, we're now going to journey forward in time. Units 3 and 4 trace the evolution of poetry, first by exploring modern Indian voices, and then by examining 2 of the most influential periods in all of English literary history. Unit 3 brings us into the modern era, but with a really fascinating focus: the pioneering Indian writers who masterfully used the English language to forge a new, powerful literary identity. They blended cultures and created a truly unique body of work. This is a fantastic section. And just look at this lineup of poets you'll be studying. You've got Toru Dutt, who brilliantly reimagined Indian myths in English verse. You'll read Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India, who is celebrated for her lyrical and patriotic poetry. And of course, the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, whose spiritual poems in Gitanjali just captivated the entire world. For Unit 4, we cross over to England to witness one of the most dramatic shifts in literary history: the move from the logical, reason-focused neoclassical age to the passionate, nature-worshipping, romantic age. It's really a fascinating transition from the head to the heart. You'll see this contrast perfectly in the readings. You'll start with Alexander Pope's Ode on Solitude, which is a classic example of neoclassical balance and reason. Then you'll dive headfirst into Romanticism with Wordsworth's The Solitary Reaper, which finds this profound beauty in a simple country scene. And finally, you'll get lost in the lush, sensory world of Keats's Ode to a Nightingale. We're now arriving at our final content unit, which explores the dynamic and complex Victorian age. After that, we'll shift gears to the practical stuff, the details of how you'll be graded for this paper. So, Unit 5 plunges you right into the 19th century. The Victorian age was a time of intense contradiction. You had rigid social norms, but also radical change, great faith, and growing doubt, all fueled by the Industrial Revolution and new scientific discoveries. And the poetry from this era just captures all of that tension and questioning beautifully. Here you'll engage with 3 giants of the era, and each one has a totally distinct voice. Tennyson's Crossing the Bar offers this calm, beautiful acceptance of mortality. In sharp contrast, Robert Browning's Prospects, which literally means to look forward, is a defiant, robust challenge to death. And then Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach perfectly captures the era's crisis of faith with this haunting melancholy. Now, let's talk about marks. Your final grade is a blend of your work throughout the year and a final exam. 30 marks are for what's called Continuous Comprehensive Evaluation, or CCE. This just means that your work all year long. Class tests, assignments, presentations, it all counts. The final university exam then makes up the other 70 marks. Of course, you won't be going on this literary journey alone. To help guide you, the university has suggested some excellent resources. Let's take a look at the key books that will be your best friends for this course. These are your core texts. You'll be reading directly from primary sources, like Wordsworth's Revolutionary Lyrical Ballads and the poetry of Sarojini Naidu. And to support your reading, you'll use essential historical overviews, like Brigadish Prasad's A Short History of English Poetry. These are going to be your go-to books all year. And for those of you who want to dive even deeper, these extended readings are fantastic. A book like M.H. Abrams' Glossary of Literary Terms is an absolute must-have. It's basically a dictionary of literary concepts that will help you throughout your entire degree. Similarly, M.K. Nayak's History will give you so much great context for the Indian poets on your syllabus. Finally, let's look beyond the classroom and talk about the future. Studying poetry isn't just an academic exercise. It's a way of training your mind, of equipping you with valuable skills for a huge range of professions. Let's see where this can take you. It's the question every literature student gets asked, right? But what can you actually do with that degree? Well, the answer, as you're about to see, is a lot more than most people think. Think about it for a second. This course trains you to analyze complex texts, to understand nuance, and to communicate your ideas with clarity and creativity. These aren't just academic skills. They are in high demand everywhere. Whether you're interested in journalism, publishing, teaching, or even competitive exams for the civil services, the ability to think and write well is going to give you a powerful advantage. So as you begin this course, I want to leave you with this thought from John Keats, one of the poets you'll be studying. Poetry isn't just words on a page. It's a way of finding beauty, of understanding the human condition, and connecting with powerful ideas that have echoed through the centuries. I hope your study of it is truly a joy forever. Best of luck to all of you.